Wake up, Jacksonville. I'm Matt Peiken. Thanks so much for getting through the week with me. Here's your local newscast for Friday, February 20th. The Downtown Investment Authority Board voted against supporting city incentives to keep EverBank in its downtown Jacksonville office. The bank requested nearly $10 million to offset higher operating costs compared to suburban locations. Supporters argue retaining EverBank's 800 employees downtown is vital for ongoing redevelopment projects nearby. Opponents worry approving the deal would set a precedent for other businesses to demand public subsidies and conflict with the city's plan to attract workers through improved amenities rather than direct payments. After yesterday's 7-2 vote against it, the proposal moves to City Council for a final decision. Read more about this in the Jacksonville Daily Record. A member of Jacksonville's Downtown Investment Authority is warning City Council that a major incentive deal for a Publix-anchored downtown tower may be based on flawed projections. Cameron Hooper pointed out that revenue projections were incorrectly based on total building area, not the rentable space that generates income. He also said residential rents appear higher than current market rates. Despite these concerns, the board voted 8-1 to keep the incentives unchanged, saying the developer assumes the financial risk. Gateway Jack's representatives say they remain confident financing will be secured. Read about this in the Daily Record. A Jacksonville tax preparer was sentenced to 1.5 years in prison after she pleaded guilty to filing false tax returns. Sir Valerie Harris faked about 900 returns between 2020 and 2022, costing the IRS nearly $1.8 million. An undercover IRS agent hired her in 2022 and was offered a fake refund for a $500 fee. Harris created false documents showing losses on a non-existent business to claim refunds. The judge rejected her request for probation, saying she showed no remorse. Harris must also pay $1.8 million in restitution. Read more about this in the Times-Union. A controversial nomination to the JEA board ended when the nominee withdrew. Paul Martinez, CEO of Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida, stepped down after backlash over a text from City Council President Kevin Carrico. The message said the appointment was, quote, a big favor to a friend, prompting accusations of backroom dealing. Councilmember Jimmy Peluso criticized the text as, quote, corruption at its finest, and called for leadership changes. Martinez said he wants to focus on leading his nonprofit, serving thousands of local youth. JEA board oversees city electricity and water rates. You can read more about this at the Times-Union. And signs of spring are emerging in Jacksonville despite a recent cold snap. Observations from the USA National Phenology Network show local plants like lilacs and honeysuckles started their growth about 4 days earlier than usual. The recent freeze slowed progress, but warmer temperatures have brought the spring cycle back into gear. Along with new growth, pollen levels are increasing across Florida, which could worsen allergy symptoms, especially during dry conditions linked to the ongoing drought. Read more about this at Jacksonville Today. Our free newsletter is a quick local news digest, essentially this newscast in written form. Subscribe at wakeupjacks.transistor.fm. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at wakeupjacksfl. And please share this podcast with your friends who care about this city. I'm Matt Peiken. Thanks so much for starting your weekdays with Wake Up Jacksonville.